What's up, everybody? Emerson and I are just having a little breakfast, but we're trying to be really quiet because my husband Derek is still sleeping. He's on a different shift right now. He leaves the house at about 5:30 p.m. He usually gets off somewhere around 5-ish. Oh, you have a cough too. I'm pretty excited about today and what we're going to be talking about, just because Emerson turned 1 about a month ago, and yes, you did. It was just so much fun getting to celebrate her first year of life, but it's just got me thinking about those first, few days of her life. I love you. I love you. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little bit about Emerson's birth story. I'm really excited about this because we really haven't talked anything about it on this vlog at all. I've only been vlogging about 3 months now. You want some juice? 1 second. But since I wasn't vlogging then, we really don't have a whole lot of video of that. I know that I'm going to forget a whole lot of what happened, and so I want to get it all out there on video now so that we can save it forever and just be reminded of what happened when this beautiful little girl was born. But first we're going to eat some breakfast. More banana? Oh, you dropped that piece, baby. Can you find it? Got it? Oh, good job. Is there more down there? No. Okay. Make some music. So sorry that I look so terrible. These shifts are harder because I find it harder to get ready for anything in the morning because I don't want to go back in the room and wake Derek up. When he's on these shifts, we tend to stay in our pajamas a little longer, but there's nothing wrong with that, right? So I have a 1-year-old now. It's just so crazy because it seems like every single week she's just learning something new. She's so much more chatty. I feel like I've said this before, but I think every stage that she is in is like my new favorite stage. Bless you. And maybe that's just a mom thing. You tend to love whatever they're doing at the time. But I've just been really enjoying this one. It just seems like there's so much more interaction. So, just loving every second. Oh, okay. Oh, you found an elephant, and you're making an elephant sound. Oh, snuggle that elephant. And eat some toast. The elephant has a flower on its head. Yeah, that's your head. This is the elephant's head. Oh, so much to do. Emerson, what did you find in that toy box? Hello, sunglasses. Oh, can we put your toys away? This is looking like a sleepy, sleepy baby, so we're gonna get ready for a nap. Okay, that baby girl is down. She was pretty sleepy, so hopefully she gets a good nap in right now. Now I wanted to talk about our birth story. It started the morning of August 12th, 2016. At about 2:30 in the morning, I woke up and I was just feeling like some pressure. Until that point, I really hadn't felt any contractions or anything like that. So I wasn't really sure if that's what it was. So I got my phone out and I had an app on there, and so I would try to start it whenever the contractions started and stop it whenever it stopped. It was such a gradual thing that I wasn't sure when exactly it started and then when it stopped. So that was really tricky. It wasn't really painful, so I was like, I'm just gonna try to go back to sleep. If I get to have a baby today, that's awesome, and if it goes away, that's what it is. And then that morning came and Derek had to go to work. I think it was around 7 or 7:30, and I had told him what I was feeling and everything, and of course, for a first-time dad, he's like, okay, do we need to go to the hospital? What do we need to do? Should I go to work? Do I need to stay home? And so I told him, go ahead and go to work, and I'll text you if I think we need to go to the hospital later. And so he did, and that morning I just kind of walked around the house, pretty much just did what I normally did on any given morning, just waited to see if these contractions got stronger and closer together. The whole time I was at the house, I could still walk while I was having a contraction. I could still talk, all of those things. So I just really wasn't sure. Never really got stronger or necessarily consistent, but I thought, if this is false labor, I'd really rather have a nurse or a doctor tell me that than me just trying to guess. I went ahead and texted my husband and said, hey, let's go ahead and go in and we'll see if this is the real deal or not. So he comes home and then we get to the hospital. And by that time they were a bit stronger, but still very manageable. I get there and I'm still all smiles. So looking back, I'm thinking I probably should have called my doctor and let him know, but I was like, we'll just go in there and see what they say. But they get me ready anyways, and they get me a room, and the nurse goes to check me, and she says, okay, you're about 6 centimeters dilated. And I was like, what? And I looked at her and I go, so I'm having this baby today, right? And she just smiles and she's like, yeah. The nurse asked me what I wanted to do as far as pain management and everything, and I told her I just wanted to do it on my own. They were like, all right, cool. We got there at about 10:30 in the morning. My husband would kind of rub my back, or I would get in the shower, sit on the ball. We did that until about 3:30, and then at 3:30, that was when everything pretty much changed, and it just got super intense. It wasn't up until that point that I was really struggling. Every single contraction, I was just trying to breathe through it and relax my body and just try to get through each one of those as it came. At that point, I looked at my husband and I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, because it was just really intense. So he said, okay, well, what do you want me to do? And I said, I want you to go get the doctor. And so he did, and the doctor came in and checked me, and I was all the way dilated. About 5 minutes later, my water broke. And I look at him and I'm like, so can I push now? Because I was ready to get this baby out. And I know for a lot of women, there's this urge to push, and it's like an instinctual thing. That never happened for me. I just wanted to push because I was ready to not be in labor anymore. But the nurse said, yeah, you're ready to push. I pushed for about just under an hour. It took a while for me. Maybe it was because I didn't have any pain meds or whatever. Also, pushing was not an instinctual thing for me either. It took me a little while to figure out how to do that. I just had to listen to what the doctors and nurses told me to do and tried to do that to the best of my ability. And then out came Emerson, and they put her on my chest, and she was beautiful and crying, and it was just really, really amazing. I don't know if this is too much information, so I guess I'll just throw a warning in here real quick. I did tear. I had a 2nd-degree tear, and so the doctors had to stitch me up. They told me I could hold Emerson at that point if I wanted to, but at the same time, with no pain medications and getting stitched up, I just didn't trust myself to hold her and then be able to deal with that at the same time. So they took Emerson and they laid her next to me in the room, and I told my husband to go to her while the doctors and nurses took care of me. Once that was done, I felt a lot better, and I was able to hold Emerson for longer, got to breastfeed her, and so that was just really special and sweet. And a little later took a shower, which felt really good. So that's our birth story. I'll tell you a little bit about the reasons why I decided to do no pain meds. One, I was really scared of getting a C-section, and I knew that as soon as they gave me anything, the chances of getting a C-section go up pretty drastically. So that was one of the reasons. Another reason was I never had a baby before, so I really didn't know how my body would handle that. I wanted to see how it would go naturally, just to understand that a little better. Another reason was it a little bit scared me that I wouldn't be able to move. That just sounded really weird to me, not being able to get up and move around. I wasn't sure how I would handle that. Although looking back now, I really wasn't moving a whole lot anyways. Once it got intense enough, I really didn't feel like walking around or moving a ton. I have a little bit different perspective on that now. So after a lot of consideration, a lot of thought and time going into that decision, I decided that I wanted to try to do it naturally. And I did. And I don't regret that at all. I think it was a really good experience for me. Having said that, for my next baby, probably gonna get the epidural. the reasons for that is just because now that I know kind of the process and how my body does respond, I know every pregnancy and every labor and delivery is different. Now at least I kind of have an idea of what happens. Funny story is that this past Sunday, my pastor was preaching, and he mentioned how after a woman gives birth and then she starts breastfeeding, your body starts creating these hormones that actually helps you forget the pain of childbirth. That's super cool, and I didn't know that. And I really don't remember the intensity of the pain. I do remember different thoughts that I had at that time. Like, I remember thinking, oh my goodness, I'm not sure I can do this again. Which is another reason why I think I'll do the epidural next time. As I was preparing myself for having a natural, no medication birth, it really took a lot of prayer. And I was pretty anxious about it, honestly. As I was praying about it and asking God for strength, I was also asking Him to teach me through this experience. And the cool thing about labor and delivery is that it's a different sort of pain, because it's a pain with purpose. Because normally when you're hurting, you smash your finger or you stub your toe. That's your body telling you, hey, something's wrong, don't do that again, or don't keep doing that because you're gonna cause damage to your body. But having a baby is a completely different kind of pain, because it's exactly what's supposed to be happening. Your body is reacting in the right way. And I just can't think of any other thing that's like that. It reminded me of Christ and what He did on the cross and how He suffered the worst kind of pain. That was a pain with purpose, because through His death on the cross, He was paying the punishment for sin, and He did it for His children. So I feel like through that, my relationship with God really grew. It also just made me even more thankful for the sacrifice that Christ made, enduring that pain for me, for His children, so that we could have a right relationship with God. I do feel like God used that just to help me understand just a little bit better the kind of love that God has for us as His children. So that's my story, and it blows my mind that was over a year ago. I hope it didn't seem too long, but there's just a lot that I really wanted to share, and a lot that I just wanted to remember. I did want to show you some clips that we did catch when Emerson was first born and a few days after getting her home. Check it out. Designed individual, not magic but miracle, so small. I love you now and all time. Oh child, you'll always be my sunshine, waiting to show you the world. Sweet precious Emerson girl, my girl, rock socket knocking on me. I dream of who you might be, I see. Barefooted baby, pigtails secured, picking up daisies, free as a bird, catching lightning bugs in boxes of sand. So many warm hugs with small outstretched hands. The day you open your eyes and gaze up at the sunrise, don't cry. I'm praying for you each day. There's so much I wanna say, okay? Oh, listen so you can know what's going on. This man who lived long ago, and so on the old cross he was pinned, praying for you to meet Him within. Each year amazing with musical chairs, laying stargazing and sweet bedtime prayers. Hey Emerson, my sweet, precious daughter, I love you so much. But there's this man who loves you even more than I do, and I can't wait to tell you all about him.
Shining, shining brightly in your perfect sight.
Derek's awake, so we're gonna hang out before he has to go into work. Probably gonna take a shower, change out of my pajamas. That about does it for today. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it. If you like the music, check out the links for that. If you want to see more videos like this one, hit that subscribe button and you'll be able to see a vlog from us every Monday. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Ellie McMullen. This is Emerson. We'll see you guys next time.